We're going to talk about a lot of things in this video, and one of those is artificial intelligence. That's right, we're going to have a huge... A lot of people are fixated on technology, and the advances that we have in technology are actually frightening. I can't blame people for, looking at it with that hyper-focused lens. But, I've mentioned before, you have to remember where technology comes from. Elon Musk is talking about this place as a simulation of basically some type of, program of sorts. When you look at, how you relate with your outside environment, whatever it is, whether you see something, whether you feel it, whatever it is, that has a lot to do with chemical reactions and other things. And, when you get down to all the stimuli and, the way we process things, it could get pretty complex, but the thing you can't forget is that we are tangible. We are flesh. And, the simulation theory is interesting. And I know that, however you want to look at it, this, world that we live in is at the very least influenced by things that we can't see. It involves different dimensions. And so, I guess depending on how you look at it, there's some truth to some of these things that people are speculating about. There's some truth to a lot of the things, that would, I guess, lend a little bit of truth to the fact that not everything is what it seems. But at the same time, it can't be contradictive. They're switching the words simulation with reality. And, even if that was true, you still have to remember that it speaks of a designer. If you can't have evolution and a simulation, right? So we're going over the boundaries of, the junk science that I always criticize. When you get into stuff like that and you start saying we are part of a simulation or, some type of program or something, it goes right back to the same intelligent design that all the other scientists are going to. And that would mean that somebody made it. When you look at a painting, you don't have to see the signature on it to know that somebody took a paintbrush and painted it, right? So it all still goes back to God. Alex Jones is talking about this transcendence that people are going to, eventually merge with artificial intelligence or get out of this, mainframe program that we're on in this little free will simulation or whatever, and transcend. That's the plan, is to transcend, which doesn't really make sense. It's contradictive, because if artificial intelligence is melding with our bodies and stuff like that, that's not really transcendence, is it? If we were truly transcending, we would transcend to something else, like maybe the Lawnmower Man or something like that, where people would actually go in to a different type of dimension that they created with computer programs or whatever. But it does speak, like I said, of intelligent design, and I think it's contradictive. I don't think that people are going to get away with that. And like I said, if there is a programmer, and you guys know I believe in God, and you got to be careful when things start to contradict the Word of God. That means that he's in control, and he's not going to just let people do whatever they want just because they figure out something. And so it's childish, in my opinion, but it's interesting, and it is frightening because we do have a lot of advancements in technology, but even if you look at Bible prophecy, you have what's referred to as Mystery Babylon. Okay, what happened? What happened in the Tower of Babel? Right? Well, people tried to do their own thing to transcend, to rise up into the heavens. Right? They tried to basically, say, hey, we're going to call the shots. We're not going to listen to God. We're going to do this, and we're going to all get together, and we're going to accomplish this. We're going to build a tower up there, and we're going to have our say, so to speak, right? And so you have those two principles. You have the mentality that people are going to rise up and transcend. And then you have the conglomeration of people, and that's where all the split came from, where all the languages and everybody was confused, and they couldn't understand each other anymore. That's why they called it Babel. And so God did that, right? He could definitely put a monkey wrench in the system of this whole idea that these people are believing this delusion, which, in my opinion, is a delusion. It's a lie, and it's something that has diverted them. It is a pressure. It is, a great way to get people, diverted and confused about the issue and the reality of where they are. Okay. Because now, instead of looking at the reality of, hey, I could die tomorrow and I'm going to be judged based on my decision to follow Christ and all this. No, we're going to study up, how to, increase the bandwidth, compatibility with the human neuron and artificial intelligence. You're out there. You're diverted. That's not reality. You could die 5 minutes from now, and you're not gonna get out of this. And even if you hold to this, well, if you can't beat them, join them mentality, well, you have a problem there too, because everything is consistent in the Bible. And you know what? The kingdom of darkness is not going to usurp or escape whatever kind of judgment God has decided to use. They're not going to get out of it. Nobody is. You're not. I'm not. They're not. And I don't care what kind of robots you build or computer programs or whatever you think you've got figured out. You're not getting out of that. Reality check. But it is scary to think about it that way. And who knows? Maybe Mystery Babylon is just that. Maybe this whole delusion of people thinking they're going to, we don't have to worry about dying because we're going to transcend into these beings who are, part robot and part man, and eventually we're going to figure out how to transfer our consciousness into vessels that are going to be able to survive, and we won't have to worry about dying. I don't think so. But interesting. And, the thing is, the scariest part about it is that you can see evil everywhere. You can see it at every turn. And, whether you're going to watch a documentary on some, 15-year-old serial killer who's just doing horrific things. I just watched it. And I only watched about 10 minutes. It was, things pop up on your phone. And I'm like, wow, the world's youngest serial killer. And how do these people... where do they come from? And you got the psychiatrists. I mentioned the inconsistencies in that. And they were born with a deficiency in their, frontal lobe and, whatever. There's no evidence to prove any of that. In fact, there's lots of other people that they've done brain scans and whatever, and they found that they have that type of brain, and they're not killers, So what's really going on? Okay, what do we have going on in society? We've got kids who, all the way back from probably the late 70s and 80s have been watching violent television and movies to the point where that desensitizes people. And it also, depending on what you're watching, gives, the credence, or it gives people the idea that, through violence and through, things that are just, unthinkable, you become powerful, right? You don't have to take any crap from somebody if you could just kill them, right? I mean, of course, that's of course got to be the first and best solution. It is in the movies, right? Or the video games. Let's talk about that. I've played them. I played the video games, and you got all those, war simulations, and you got the other simulations where you're a contract killer. I've played them, okay? But the problem is that if you're a young, impressionable human being, that is going to affect you a lot differently than, an adult playing it. And I don't even think that, that stuff should be out there. They started to rate, some of those games as, you can't really buy it unless you're a certain age. But, don't fool yourself. I think you can buy stuff, online now and download it for your game system. And where's the regulations there? And so you got all these things. You've got, sex, violence, and all these things just being pumped into the brains of, all the youth, every generation now up from that time period. It has just been indoctrinated and, showered with all this filth and garbage, and it affects the people that it comes in contact with. It does. And the Bible talks about, beware of those who, call darkness light and light darkness. And they exchange the two and, basically call what is good evil and what is evil good. And that's what's happening. That's the indoctrination. When you mix all that with the technological advances and all the deception that goes along with this, not only this transcendent delusion, you've got people who are they're not subjected to the truth. They're deluded. They are forgetting, first and foremost, that they are not going to get out of being judged. Period. That's one of the most dangerous things about this, because people, they're off. There's that city. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, Neom City. They want to build that out in the Middle East. And it's huge. It's going to be a city that supposedly has no laws or regulations for trade or whatever and all that. And bin Salman out there, the Persian prince, he wants to, they've already got ground broke for it, and they want robots to be everywhere, to work at this place. They're gonna have nothing but solar power. It's going to be this, Candyland city that, everybody is just going to, it's going to be one big carnival, and it's going to be technologically advanced, and, everybody's going to have fun, and it's going to confuse if they build this thing, if they get away with it. And some people have speculated on that one. It is going to further that delusion in people's minds to where they don't think that they are going to be held accountable, that they're not going to be judged, that they can just escape through transcendence. A bunch of baloney, guys. Be good to yourselves. Be safe.